Next up in our Photoshop B lesson is working on saving and loading different selections. So not only can we make selections, but we can also save them and then load them later. So if you hadn't closed out of your B2, you can go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go back to our Google Classroom and download image B3. And open that in Photoshop when it is downloaded. And once you have it open in Photoshop, the first thing we're going to do is something called posterize the image. And what that means is it's a special effect that Photoshop has where we can reduce the number of available colors in an image. So right now what you're looking at is actually 256 shades of gray in our image. And we're going to reduce that down to 4 actually. So the way that we do this is we go up to our image tab on our menu bar and go to adjustments. And then about halfway down there's an option for posterize. So notice it actually defaults right to 4. But as you move your image, you're going to see as the more colors come in, the more it starts to look more realistic. And if you drag it all the way to the far right, you're going to get 255, which remember you can also go all the way down to 0, so that's technically where I said 256. That's what I'm talking about here. You can have 0, which would be all black, and you can have just 1, which would be white. Then when you get 2, you get black and white, and as you go, you can see how it adds more to it. So as I said, we're going to go with 4 levels, so you can punch that in and then go ahead and click OK. And then in order to make our selections, we're actually going to use our magic wand tool. But I have one more step we need to do. Let's go to image again and choose mode right at the very top. You're going to notice that we're in grayscale right now. So grayscale again means that we wouldn't be able to add any color to this, and that's actually what we want to do once we have saved and loaded our selection. So we're going to change this from grayscale to RGB, which simply means at this point it's not changing anything, but when we want to add some color, we now have that ability to do that. So we're going to grab our magic wand tool to start with, and we are going to put our tolerance actually down to 1 because we only have 1 of 4 colors in here. We have the white, the light gray, the dark gray, and the black. Okay, so we want our tolerance to be at 1, and we are going to uncheck both anti-alias and contiguous. We don't want either of those checked. Remember, contiguous means touching. So when it's not checked, we're going to select all the white areas or all the light gray areas in the image. So the first thing that we're going to do is let's start with the white. I'm going to click up here in the white area to select it, and you're going to see that all of the white in the entire area or in the entire image gets selected. Once we have that selection made, we're going to go to select and then go down to save selection. And it's saying that in this document, which is B3, we are going to make a new channel and we're just going to name it white. This easy to remember, that's the color we've got there. And then go ahead and click OK. Once you have that done, you can deselect, and we're going to do that same step 3 more times for the other colors. So go ahead and click anywhere where the light gray is to select the light gray. We go to select, save selection, and I'm just going to put LT for light gray and click OK. Deselect. We're going to do the dark gray now. So make sure when you choose the dark gray area that you go in a place where there isn't any other colors. So I would go down here in the lake or up here in the top right hand sky to grab the dark gray. And then we're going to go to select, save selection, dark gray, click OK, deselect, and our last one we're going to do is the black. Click, select, save selection, and then black, and click OK, and then deselect. So now that we have saved those 4 selections to this document, we're going to load them now and change the color and edit them like we did with our hot air balloon. So the first thing that we're going to do is go to select and then load selection. And it's going to ask us with this drop down menu, which one would you like to load? So let's start by loading, let's do the light gray. So click on your light gray and click OK. And then your light gray is going to get selected just like we had done beforehand. And what we want to open up here over on our panels is our swatches panel. So go ahead and double click your swatches. If for some reason you don't see your swatches, you can go to Window and then go down to Swatches, and then it will pop up over here on your panel. So, oops. I'm going to choose kind of like an orangey color, and I'm going to click on it. And notice that when you click on your orange over here on your Tools panel, this your top square, which is your foreground color, is selected. And then once you have that done, what you can actually do is go to Edit, Fill, and then it says Use Foreground Color, and click OK. So since we had changed our foreground color to that orange, it filled in our light gray with that orange color. So you can go ahead and deselect and you'll see how the orange is now wherever we had that light gray. And we're going to do the same thing for our dark gray. So we go to Select, Load Selection, and we're going to choose our dark gray option. Click OK. For the dark gray, I'm actually going to choose kind of a darker red. Maybe not quite that dark. Let's go with that one. And you guys can be picking whatever colors you want. Maybe you have favorite colors. I'm just kind of doing a sunset theme, and you'll see that here as we continue on. But I'm going to do my dark gray and a kind of dark red. So I changed my foreground color with one of my swatches. Then I go up to Edit, Fill, and then make sure it says foreground color, and I click OK. And then I'm going to deselect. So now I've got kind of this ombre look going, which is going from the black. I'm going to leave my black, I think. Leave it nice and dark, and then it goes to my red, and then to my oranges. And my last one I need to do is my white. So last step here is to go to Select, Load Selection. We want it to be the white we load, so we click OK. And then I'm going to pick one of the light yellows here. Once I have chosen my swatch color, I go to Edit, Fill, and then make sure my foreground color is selected and click OK. And then deselect. So here we have kind of, like I said, that sunset theme. It goes from the dark to the red to the orange to the yellow. And so that is one, working with our posterize adjustment, which just reduces the number of available colors in an image. And then we saved selections, we loaded the selections, and then edited them or modified them using our color swatches. So you do not need to save this one with just a practice. You'll be doing it again in your assignment. So you can just close right out of this, and we'll move on to our next one.